long applause ate up 2 minutes of my speech. I will not take long, but I want to express my gratitude to all those standing behind me and all those standing in front of me, because you're here solely because of your dedication and love for this great Commonwealth of Virginia and to serve our great nation. And that is reason, and reason alone, for me to join here tonight. It really doesn't have anything to do with politics. I'm a strong believer of the two-party system. We have two strong parties in our state, and I think this race thus far for the United States Senate has been a strong and full debate on the issues, open and expressed with complete freedom, and I commend both candidates. But I strongly believe, and I have done so for over a year, when I first talked to Mark about this, he should run again. And I encouraged him. And I told him that I would stand beside him in his race. And here I am. Having a great love for this community, in which has been my home now for basically 25 years, I wanted to talk a little about history, because Alexandria, Virginia, one of the oldest communities in the Commonwealth, has seen a lot of history. We're going to make a little history tonight, but I want to talk about the history of the United States Senate, and particularly the Senate Armed Services Committee, and why we're here tonight. The origins of the military committees in the United States Senate began in 1816, when a military committee was established for the Army and the National Guard, such as it was, and then a Naval Affairs Committee, because we had the biggest naval port and base in the entire country. On those committees, the year they were formed, was a Virginia United States Senator. And they have continued on those committees all these many years. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, as we stand here, and I reflect with you on the panoply of history that I have seen since I was an 18-year-old senator, World War II. Not nearly as heroic in Linwood. Get that message to Linwood right now. But nevertheless, as an enlisted sailor, I have never seen the world more dangerous. Not only for ourselves, but the free world all over. And that free world looks to the United States of America in times of stress to preserve the elements of freedom and democracy. And we have never as a nation stood back from the fray. We've always stepped forward. And the Congress is an integral part of the Commander-in-Chief, the President's responsibilities to protect and preserve our nation. That Senate committee, the Senate Armed Services Committee, which had its origins in 1860, still in existence today, was one on which I was privileged, having had the support of you, tens of thousands of citizens like you across this country for those 30 years that I served, and in my final years as chairman of that committee. Tonight, Tim Kaine has that seat. Mind you, it's a seat that goes back to World War II, when that committee was formally put together. And he's done his duties with great distinction. But then in 1947, we realized we had other serious problems. And we formed the Intelligence Committee. and that began to handle all of the intelligence that was essential for this nation to have and to share with our allies in times of need. And I'm so proud that on my left, Mark Warner serves and has my seat on that committee. I mention that for the reason that of the 100 states, only 7 states hold a seat on both the Intelligence Committee and the Armed Services Committee. Only 7 states. Why would we want to break up that team and change it to Virginia? I do not see. In this time of great need in this country, and when men and women of experience are needed in the fields of national security, Virginia has always led. Of our 8 million citizens, 1 million are either in uniform or veterans or civilians working for the civilian intelligence agencies and the Department of Defense. Look at that percentage of people. Study the amount of Virginia's gross national product and how much of it is derivative from the military and the intelligence communities. Look at the number of buildings and edifices from the Pentagon to the CIA. All these, Virginia is a home. Virginia must always be on those committees, have experienced individuals, and it's, I think, the responsibility of Virginia to keep those that have served with distinction and will continue to do so. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the senior senator yesterday, the senior senator tomorrow from the Commonwealth of Virginia, Mark Warner.